YouTube? I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about my horrible experience working in the food industry and why I will never work in the food industry ever again. Stay tuned. I have some funny stories coming for you guys. So this first story takes place at my first job ever. I was 16 years old and it was at freaking KFC. The worst KFC I had ever been to. They never had no chicken. They never had this. They never had that. Customer service was terrible. Everybody was rude and ghetto. Didn't want to be there, which I understand, but it was terrible. The manager was ghetto, like super ghetto, unorganized. Like, it took me months to get this job and I worked there for 2 days. 2 days. Anywho, the reason why it was 2 days was because I did training on the computer one day for like maybe 4 hours. I don't remember exactly how long, but the next day, why did Shawty throw me on the drive-thru? Computer training was not that helpful. I didn't know what the heck I was doing, and she had the nerve to go talk to her other workers like she don't know what she's doing. Duh, bitch. I didn't know what I was doing. You didn't give me no hands-on training. You just threw me on the drive-thru. It's hella cars coming through. I'm like, hold on, I don't, like, I'm messing up people's orders like left and right. It's so bad. Like, and I literally like was about to cry. I was so overwhelmed. I'm 16. It's my first job. And this how you gonna do me? And then you're gonna go talk about me behind my back? I heard you. To the other workers that I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't. So yeah, I called her after that day of work and I was like, hey, Miss blah blah blah, I know I'm supposed to come in tomorrow, but I won't be coming in anymore. She said anymore. I said anymore. Period. I'm not coming back. I don't care if I need the money. I don't care. I'm not coming back to KFC. I don't want to come home smelling like freaking grease. I don't want my face being greasy 24/7. Like, it was just not the move. Like, not the move at all. So yeah, I quit. Second job I worked at in the food industry was Safeway. Worked there for about 2 years. Better than 2 days, you know. Give it up for a girl. Even though it was off in one. Anyways, I first started out as a courtesy clerk, getting carts or whatever. That was freaking trash. I was outside in rain, sleet, snow. Like, it was bad. All my friends see me from school. I'm out there. It's a freaking beehive in the cart corral where I gotta get the carts from. I'm just fighting for my life daily. I actually hit someone's car a couple times with carts. But we're not gonna get into that because, yeah. But I definitely tore some people's cars up. Anyways, they moved me on the register because I told them, like, look, I cannot be outside in 100-degree weather. I don't care about these freaking carts. Like, y'all need to move me inside on the register. I thought it was gonna be better. It really was not. So customers are so freaking rude. The one I worked at, the town I live in is pretty like full of older like white people. So they were pretty freaking rude to me. Like, every day they would talk to me like I was like retarded, like I was slow. They would stare at me. They would mug the shit out of me constantly. Like, just get smart. Like, okay, I'm gonna give y'all like two stories of like just stuff they would do that would just piss me off, to where it got to the point where I was just like, I'm gonna have to quit or they're gonna fire me for cussing one of these old ass white people out. Like, so this white guy comes in the line, this older white guy, he's bald, freaking, he looks like an egg. Him and his wife come in the line. They're like, hey, I'm like, hey, how you doing? You know, boop boop, bringing their stuff up, being nice to them, making them feel welcome. He comes up to me, he's like, is that your real hair? Excuse me? You bald, Birkenstock wearing bitch? Do not ask me if it's my, yes, it's my real hair. I paid for it. I paid for it. It's mine. Mind your business. And I was like looking at his wife like, are you gonna say something to your husband? Like, she's looking at me like waiting on me to answer. Like, she's really intrigued. They're really interested to know whether it's my hair or not. And I'm like, bruh, like, mind your business. Anyways, this next story was when I lost it. Like, I quit like probably like 3 days after this, because the manager, I didn't like the staff at all. Like, they were just treating me like not good either. But I was just trying to make my little summer money, try to stick through it. But anyways, this old white lady, this old bag came in my line, and I'm bringing her stuff. I'm like, hey ma'am, how you doing? I could tell from the jump we were gonna have a problem, because shawty was stank. Like, her attitude was stank. Her whole demeanor was just off. And I'm like, bro, like, I'm not even doing nothing to you. I'm saying hello, I'm being pleasant, like, how your day going, even though I don't care how your day is going. But bringing her stuff up, boop, boop, boop. And her stuff is like piling up because she's not putting it in her cart. And I'm like, oh Lord, like, she's about to cause a scene, because she's standing there staring at me like arms folded. Like, I'm like, you're wasting people's time. Put your stuff in your cart. People, the line is down the freaking aisle at this point, because they used to never have like but maybe 3 cashiers on at once in the afternoon, when everybody gets off work, when everybody's trying to buy something to fix for dinner, because they didn't want to freaking pay nobody. So her stuff, I'm done at this point. I'm like, your total is blah 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 blah. She's like looking at her bags, looking at her cart, looking at me. I'm looking at her bags, looking at her cart, looking at her. Put your stuff in your cart. She's like, bags in cart, your job, not mine. I said, what? I bust out laughing in this lady's face, like I did as was not. Like, you ever get so like mad to the point where you just laugh because you just like, you just can't believe what's going on. Like, you just can't fathom that someone would be this freaking rude to you. So I'm like, oh ma'am, if you wanted me to put your bags in your cart, you know, you could have just asked me nicely. But since you didn't ask me nicely, I'm not going to do it. She got so, she's going on. She's like, I'm going to call corporate and blah, blah, blah. I had a problem with y'all before and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, ma'am, I'm not obligated to freaking put your stuff in your cart. Like, they don't tell me I have to do that. So I'm not going to do it. And everybody's waiting on you to move along. So she's like, get your manager, get your manager. I'm like, oh, bet, okay. Manager, she comes over. She's a young black lady. Like, she's my man's. Like, this was the only manager I liked. She's like, no, your manager. I'm like, this is the manager. Are you trying to tell me a young black woman cannot be the manager? You're basically telling me you don't think we can be in positions of authority. You're freaking racist. I could tell she was racist. She was very nasty. She was very like, she was just looking me up and down like in disgust. And I had never seen this woman before in my life. So yeah, 3 days later, I freaking quit because I did not give a shit. The last freaking place I worked that was like in the food industry was Cracker Barrel. I don't know why I keep going to these ratchet ass establishments like Cracker Barrel. Listen to the name, Cracker Barrel. Place full of crackers. And it was true to its name, because these people used to treat me like trash, like legit trash. And I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna stick through it, blah blah blah. Like, I always have this mentality where, you know, like, I'm not gonna let people get to me. But you constantly being like talked down upon and like just treated like crap, you're just gonna get fed up at a certain point and just be like, alright bro, like, I gotta go, like, I gotta roll. Anyways, these people would just do dumb stuff. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all like 3 stories of some stuff that I bring this lady her freaking pecan pie that she was pressing me for, and I'm just like, here you go ma'am, you know, enjoy your pie. She looks at me, looks at the pie. She's like, this slice of pie ain't pointy enough. What? I, I ain't never heard no dumb shit like this before in my life. This piece of pie is not pointy enough. Her pie had a point. Let me just say that, you guys. Her pie was not jacked up. Like, she wanted her pie to freaking be, I don't know what, I don't under, I feel like she was just trying to give me a hard time because her husband was looking at me. I'm gonna just say it. Her husband was looking at me. I think she just was trying to give me a hard time because she ain't like that. She ain't like it. So I'm like, look, ma'am, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't. So I got my manager. I'm not dealing with this. I'm not dealing with that. That's just so ignorant of a complaint. Eat your pie. Shut your face. You don't even need this pie. You look like you ate several of them throughout your life. Just say that. This one was big. You don't need it. And I don't need this. So, next story. This man is like, these fries ain't hot enough. I'm like, okay, you know, that's no problem. Like, I understand sometimes food sits for like in the little, I don't know what it's called, window thing for like a couple minutes while we're waiting on the other person's food to get ready so we can bring them both out at the same time. So his fries, he's like, they're not hot enough. I'm like, okay, I got you, know, got some fresh out the grease for my mans. Fresh out the grease. I bring it to the table. He bites the fry, almost burnt his damn mouth. And then he's like, I don't want these. And like shoves the plate. Keep in mind, I have like 4 other tables to tend to. I don't have time for you to be complaining about something. I fix your complaint and then you have an issue with it. Like, you were really just wasting my time. Like, you really were. Other things that people would do is just like lie. They would lie, bruh. They would lie so much about the stuff they will order so they wouldn't have to pay for it. Like, I remember specifically this lady ordered an extra side of bacon for her fat son. He ate the bacon. Like, when I brought it to the table, I'm still talking to her about something. He literally ate all the bacon while I was standing there. The check comes out. She's like, I didn't order an extra side of bacon. I said, I watched your son eat the bacon. Like, I brought you bacon. She's like, no, I did not order no bacon. Like, she's getting loud with me, like ready to snap. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm not dealing with this. I'm not dealing with none of it. Waiting on my manager again. I always push it, like, go, you better handle her. You better handle sis. Because I'm not dealing with it. I'm not dealing with her or her porker son that ate the pork. Bacon. I'm not dealing with it. So, last story. This isn't a story, this one right here, before the last one. But I used to drop so many plates of food, y'all. Like, we had like maybe 5 broken plates just because of me. Can you imagine? I was like good at, like, my customer service was good, but they used to try to pile my tray up so high to get all the food out at once that it would be like plates like damn near falling off the side of the tray. So when I'm walking, I literally have to walk like slow trying to carry this food. And like, I would drop people's food, y'all, on the floor right in front of them, and I would just be like, if somebody did that to me, I would literally be about to cry. Because you know when you leave church or you're just hungry and somebody drops your food, you just want to slap them. Like, and I understood. I'm like, bruh, like, I feel so bad right now. Like, I did it like 5 times. Like, I dropped this lady whole breakfast, dropped this other lady whole breakfast, whole plates of food on the ground, plate broke. Then it's so embarrassing because you have to come back, clean the food up, sweep this plate up, get there, like, tell your manager what happened. Your manager is looking at you like you're wasting money. Like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do this job. It was so bad. But yeah, y'all, it was bad. Like, I used to drop people's food all the time. Like, but this last This last story was when I just knew the food industry was just not my thing. Like, it just wasn't my thing. So I had a table of like 12 people they gave me. Like, I was already nervous because I just get overwhelmed very easily. Like, I will always be like, yeah, I'll get that for you. Your customer asks like, yeah, he brings some ketchup and some this and some that when you come back. When you have food in your hand, you don't have time to write these things down. So when you go in the back, you can just, oh yeah, they want this, this, and this. So you have to remember all of that. 12 people asking you for different things. I would literally walk away from a table and be like, bruh, what did they just ask me for? Like, it would be so embarrassing because I have to constantly go back to the table and be like, oh, what did you ask me for again? I'm so sorry. Like, what did you ask me for? And I would just get it, whatever. This table came, it was like a Sunday. It was like a black family. They were so sweet. Thank God I got these people, because what I did, y'all, it was so just ridiculous. And like, if somebody did this to me, I'd be ready to fight. So I'm bringing their drinks out. Haven't even got to the food orders yet. I'm bringing their drinks out on the tray. I'm like, who got the such and such, blah, blah, blah. I got a whole picture of tea, because like a couple of them had got tea, so I was going to pour it in front of them. I walk behind this man. I lean over to freaking like hand a cup to someone. Why did this whole picture of iced tea with like hella ice in it fall down this man's back, down his like pants? All of it just poured down, like just all back of his head, his bald head, ice cubes everywhere.
Oh brother, this guy stinks.
I wanted to take my apron off, just hang myself by my apron. Like, I was so embarrassed. Everybody just turned and looking like, and the thing dropped and it broke too. So I'm just like, bruh, I had to clean the ice, I had to clean the glass. Like, I was ready to freaking cry and just run out, y'all. I was ready to run out. It was so embarrassing. Like, that was one of the most embarrassing things that happened, because everybody in the restaurant, I swear, it was like something out of a movie. They just was eating like oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. But they were just so understanding. Like, I really just thank God that I got a table like this, because I needed some grace that day. They gave me a $17 tip though, so I was like, eh. Speaking of tips, people were so cheap at Cracker Barrel. Like, it was really ridiculous. Like, my thing is, do not go out to eat if you cannot at least tip something. Like, they would leave freaking dimes, nickels, I lie to you not, quarters for the tip. And I'm just like, oh no, we're not doing this. And my service will be good. Like, I'm such a nice person to people. Like, I'm just so, like, I just try to make sure your experience is great, because of course I want a good tip. Like, tips is basically what I survive off of, because what you get paid an hour at Cracker Barrel was literally like $3.60 something, and they taxed the hell out of it. So my tips was it. Like, pretty much my checks would be like freaking $20 some. Like, so yeah, like, that job was just a very discouraging job. It discouraged me from working in the food industry ever again. Just dealing with people. When it comes to food, people act a freaking fool. Like, I lie to you not. Like, people just act like they be ready to fight you over their food. And I understand, but like, just chill on me. Try to understand where your waitress is coming from, where your freaking cashier is coming from. Just try to just give people grace. I am beyond thankful that I no longer have to work in the food service industry, but I'm even more thankful that you guys watched this video all the way through, and I'd be even more thankful if you guys like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next video.